You're listening to Invisible Work with me, Anjana Panna. I'm so excited to be here with you today and to share another fabulous conversation. As always, remember, you can find out more about Invisible Work and all the amazing mums we chat with on our website, invisiblework.mom. On today's podcast, I'm going to be featuring someone who is very talented, someone who has a story that isn't just interesting, it's layered, and someone who seems to have the fighting spirit. And that is something I truly admire. Today, we're talking to architect Naznin Bora, and she's going to tell us about her journey, not just, in the arts, but also as a mother, as someone who is a fitness enthusiast, and most importantly, as someone who never seems to give up. Hey, Naznin, I'm so happy to have you here with us.
Thank you. Happy to be here, Anjana. Thank you for calling me on this superb and amazing podcast that you have over here.
One of the things that I found the first time we chatted was that your attitude just spells that you're ready to do just about anything. You're ready to give anything a shot. Would that be a true definition of who you are?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think I'm someone who loves to see only life in a positive way. Everything good is happening, everything good will happen. And once you take a decision to move forward, that's it. It's right there. Get start and go.
So it's a mindset.
It's a mindset, definitely.
That's really good to hear. I know you're an architect.
Yes.
And how does that affect your architectural style, your design? Also tell me, how did you get into architecture?
See, it's a very long story, but I'll cut it short for you right now. It all started, I think, right from when I was very young, because the place where I was born and brought up, I have always seen, it's a very small community. It's an oil community, OIL, and it's a community which was started long ago. And I have always seen, my mom and her friends and everybody having this well manicured lawns and, decking up the house with this beautiful, intricate curios across the world. And so a lot of attention was paid to detail as far as the living is concerned. It was never always a house. It was more so a home, wherein you could see traces of life from across the world. So it started from there. So I think I was pretty creative right from a very young age, which I realized it later. But the turning point in my life came when I saw my elder sister join architecture. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, you can make this into a profession. And I looked at her very closely at what she was doing, and I just took up this. And I thought that, this is something which I'd love to do, then why not make it a profession out of it? Mm-hmm. So that's where architecture started for me.
And you're not from Bangalore, but you studied architecture in Bangalore.
Yes, I am basically from Assam, and I did my architecture from MSRIT. So I came here and I finished my architecture, loved the city, stayed back, and have been practicing here ever since.
Lovely. And tell us the name of your firm.
My firm name is Dreamcraft Project.
Dreamcraft Projects. And you have some really big projects. In fact, you are about to launch your latest project very soon, right?
Yes.
And I hear that it's quite the architectural marvel. Tell us a bit about that and the challenges that you faced during that.
Yeah, and so this is, it's very easy, you see, to design on a larger footprint. When you have a larger plot area, it's a cakewalk, I feel. More so because I have handled projects of different scales with different permutation combinations, so it just comes naturally to me. But when we are talking about a small space, and I'm talking about this particular building, which was just on a half of a site, like it was on 2040, even smaller than a 1200 square feet.
Oh wow!
In one of the most busiest areas of Koramangala. Mm-hmm. So wherein the houses are kind of, literally they touch each other. So you do not have any space or any scope of ventilation from either side. So the only scope is only from the front and partially from the rear end of the building. So, and also the client had this requirement, I still remember it very clearly. So wherein they had told me that they want to start their day with a cup of coffee, sitting on the balcony facing the park. Because there's a park right in front of the house. So that was the biggest advantage that I found in the house. Now, I started my design from that single instance which they quoted and that they would like to start the day. And also, they had many requirements in which we ended up making the building into a 6-floor structure. Now, once you do a very tall building, a very high building, when you do it over a smaller, practically smaller width, it does have the flip side to it. It might start looking like a pencil.
Right.
So the concern
It'll be
was,
labeled as that building.
yeah,
then.
it will be labeled as that building, So, and there is not much that you can do over just one surface. I mean, 20 feet could be the width of a bedroom. So I am talking about a building which you can compare to other places, like compare it to the width of a bedroom, going over 6 floors.
Right.
Yeah, so that the main challenge was over there, how I did that. And secondly, I had to stop the building from looking flat. Yeah, because it just has one surface.
Yes.
I had to do that. Plus, even I had to look at the instances that the building should not look too busy. Because I try to have solids and void concept, lots of colors. The building will start looking chaotic.
Yes.
And plus mobilization of the materials, I do not have any space to keep the extra materials, so material had to be brought in every single day. When the biggest issue was while casting each slab, because we have this huge concrete trucks which come in, so the road width and everything. So in general, it was a challenge, but I'm so happy that the building was a success, the project was a success, and we are launching it day after tomorrow. That's on a Sunday.
Yeah.
We are doing this. So looking
Nice.
forward to this.
Yeah.
This is one of the
So let me ask you 2 questions from that. You don't just design it. You are also involved in construction. Is that something your firm does actively?
Yes.
Okay.
And I totally, when someone approaches me, because me being an architect, I have got very specific and crucial details which run in building. And I have a very set team which works along with me. So they have been moving with me from one building to the other. So I am rest assured that my designs will come up the way that I'm expecting it to come up, because they are experienced working along with me. So this is one of the main reasons where design and execution both are carried on in our firm.
So what you are actually putting down on paper is translated to an actual site.
Yes, because and I tell my clients to hold on to that first image wherein I had given them, and the day when we reveal the building, to bring out that particular thing. So there are chances that there will be very little difference. So,
And you do interiors as well?
I do, because you see, it is imperative for the interiors to be designed right when the building is getting designed.
Right.
Let's suppose I have designed a bedroom, right? And I do follow Vastu as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have designed a bedroom and I have placed a window in a specific position, considering my bed will be placed adjacent to it. Let's suppose my window is on the left wall and my bed is on the adjacent wall, right? Now I planned it. Now, as an architect, I would also give you the layout for all the electrical fittings. I would give you the positioning of the windows. I'll tell you where the wardrobes are going to come, how the doors are going to walk in, the entire traffic movement, what happens. Now, if that is not designed, and that window reflects again in the facade or the elevation of the building, right? So, now when the layout of the interior changes, everything changes. Your electrical points go for a toss, the position of the fan goes for a toss, the way the door is opening, I might have proposed to have like a window seat next to the window. So right now next to the window, you place a wardrobe or you place a TV unit. So that's why many a times I tell my clients that interiors, especially when I am designing, I do it right at the onset. So,
But it's not the general practice for architectural
yes,
firms.
it is not. But then again, you see, it's a very creative field.
Yes.
So what is right or wrong in a
Yes.
creative field? Right?
And I guess ultimately, as the person designing a space, you have your end goal is just not the external structure, but the way a family would live in it
Absolutely.
or an office would function in it.
Yes, absolutely. Because see, there is a very vast difference when you design commercial projects and when you are doing residential projects.
Right.
So when you do commercial projects, it's okay. I mean, you cannot do anything about it. You have the bare shell, you have the facade that is coming up, and then the offices kind of come and take up the
Right.
thing. There you don't do anything with the interiors. I do not involve myself with the interiors of the space. Only thing is the vertical circulation, that is the positioning of the lift and the staircase, becomes
Right.
very important, so that no negative space is created. Because then the owner of the building will start losing money, because he will have a lot of negative space which cannot go
Be
into
utilized.
a rentable space.
Right.
So that positioning of the vertical circulation, the lift and the staircase, only becomes very important when you're doing commercial projects.
Right.
But residential, I feel, are 100 times trickier than commercial.
Right.
100 times. Because you see, in a commercial project, it's just you and the client, right?
Right.
But when you're doing a residence, it's you, the client, his wife, might be his parents, his kids,
Yeah.
everybody. And
Yeah.
you have to listen to all of them, because
Yeah.
everybody is going to stay in the house.
And everyone has a way that they visualize they want to live
Absolutely.
in their homes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
True. We've spoken about your career, but let's now talk about your journey as a mum. You have 2 children, and tell me about them. You have 2 kids.
Yes, so I have a son who is 15 years old, and I have a daughter who is 12 years old. So yes, I'm blessed with 2 kids.
Yeah. Did you find that being a mother influenced your architecture? Because presumably you were an architect, before you were a mum as well. Did becoming a mum change the way you viewed architecture or the way you designed spaces?
I would say that being a mum did influence my designs as far as residential spaces are concerned.
Right.
As far as residences are concerned, definitely. Commercial, not so much.
Okay.
Commercial is very straightforward. Okay, but residential. Now, let me give you a very good example for that. I'm designing another house right now, a residence, wherein the son is a footballer. So I have designed this completely themed room, right, wherein the headboard is like the goalpost.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes. So see, when after I became a mum, I realized how important to understand what the child wants. Because many a times the child might not be able to say it, okay, and many a times the parents might snub the kids. It's okay, you don't have to tell. We will give you what you want. But I realized no, every child wants it a certain way, because my kids are there and they have the liberty to tell me that, Mom, today, now please renovate our room like this or renovate our room. So I understood how to listen to what they want. So when I design a residence, so the first thing I ask my client is, tell me what your kid likes. Or I sit with the child and ask him, what does he like? What does he want to do? What does he play? It could be a football, badminton, could be a musician.
Yeah.
I try to imbibe it, and imbibe not in a sense that, today it's in vogue and after 2 years they got to change everything.
Right. That's important, because there has to be some sense of longevity. You can't
Yes.
keep switching up your home because it's not in trend anymore.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
So there's a very thin line to that. I mean, you cannot just suddenly give them an aubergine room because they suddenly feel like it. Yeah. So I think that's how it changed my sense of design for kids.
Right. Interesting. While we were chatting earlier on, you told me that you were married fairly young, and
Yes.
and then that marriage didn't work out.
Yes.
And what was that like? I mean, what was that phase in your life like? Because you already had a child before you decided to
Yes.
end your first marriage.
Yes. So My child is now 12, so my daughter is my biological child, and my son, he's from my second marriage.
Right.
So, in many ways, it made me who I am today.
Right.
This, I consider myself blessed to have gone through this because it has made me that much more resilient to things. And I think that attitude which says that, come on, get up. It's okay. This too shall end.
Yeah.
And, good things and good days are going to come. So that made me feel like that. And so there was a time wherein I was a single parent, and my child was growing up at that time. That was some of the years which I can say that it was some of the toughest years of my life. But I'm very happy to have been through that because that made my child come closer to me that much. And that just gave me that much more confidence that even if I fall, it's just very easy to come up from there. The harder you fall, the higher you go.
Yeah, true. But what does it mean in terms of as you're not just a partner but you're also a mother, and when you decide to end your partnership, how much does having a child impact that decision? Do you think twice about whether or not I should end this? What does that mean for my daughter?
That's a very good question, and I think I would like to say that at that point of a time, my sanity and my daughter's sanity was more important. I feel, and I also tell people who are around me who might be going through the same situations right now, I tell them that if a child sees fight in the house at all times, what are you doing? You are just you're consoling yourself that we both are there together just for the sake of the kid. The kid doesn't want that. You ask the kid 10 years down the line when the kid would have grown up, 15 years or 16 years, I can guarantee you the child will say that, why you guys used to fight so much? Who asked you to be there together? Just for my sake. Because at that point of a time, we are not doing anything for the kid's sake.
Yeah.
If we are staying there together for the kid's sake, we would want to have a happy family. A family, a life, wherein a child feels secured. Maximum blockages in people's life come from the childhood.
Right, that's true.
So why are you being the reason to ensure that your child has got blockages?
Yeah.
Rather, if you are a single parent, I know there are lots of flip sides to it. It is not easy being a single parent, and I've been through that, right? Rather be there. Explain to the child that it's okay to choose your sanity. I always give a very good example, okay? When you're traveling in a craft, what does the air hostess say? When the pressure drops, put the mask in your face and then put it on the child's.
Yeah.
It's just that. It's just
secure
that.
your own mental space before you.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because a child is an extension of you.
Yeah. And mothers really need to hear that statement and internalize it, right?
Absolutely.
Because how many women do we know, not just from this generation, but a previous generation, where they stuck it out simply because they did not want their child to be from a broken family. And that in so many ways broke them and the child for the future.
Yeah. It's not like my child when I was a single parent. It's not like she didn't have issues in the school. She was bullied for being a child of a single mother. Yeah, there were many instances wherein I had seen, people just coming and scratch sometimes, and being bullied in the basketball class. It happens. That's a way of life. That's how it is. Because out of 100%, how many? It's a minority, right? And we know that when there is a minority, people like the segment, they are going to be bullied, right?
Yeah.
So but that again. So when my child used to come and say that, I said, "Tell it's okay. I mean, it's sad that those kids are not getting that kind of a learning from their family." That they should not be doing that. So it is sad for those kids, not for her, what is happening.
How do you what is the kind of vocabulary that needs to be used, you think, to explain this to a child or to help secure a child who is going through this at home and then is facing backlash for it at school? What do you say to a child?
Yeah, I mean, see, I never had any set rules, to be very frank, okay? I just knew one thing was just to keep my child morally and emotionally strong.
Mm-hmm.
For which I used to tell her different stories.
Right.
You know, like for instance, and I was very clear with her.
Uh-huh.
And I think from a very young age, I had brought her up alone, on my own.
May I ask you quickly, how old was your daughter when you and your
Good,
partner separated?
3.5 years.
Right, very young.
Yeah, that was very young. But even before that, he was never there.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of brought her up completely alone. So the funny part is, my daughter was called as my backpack by my clients.
Because she went everywhere with you.
Yeah, because she went everywhere with me. And, trust me, that was the case. So my clients, so they would, so if I'd be doing any outstation projects, I remember I had to travel to China.
Uh-huh.
So first my client called me up and said, your nannies and your child's passports are done? I said, no. And you should see the photo which is there in her passport. Seriously, no kidding. She was barely 9 months old when her passport got done. And my client ensured that the passport gets done first, because that's how it was.
Right.
So for any travel, any outstation projects, anything I had to do, it was always with her.
Yeah.
So when you are open with your child, the child knows everything.
Right.
We think that the child doesn't know, and we are trying to protect them. We will kind of shield them from all these things. But in the mind,
they're so perceptive.
They are very perceptive. I mean, you sit quietly in one corner without saying anything. Although even if you have a fake smile on your face, the child will come and ask, Mama, what's wrong?
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
So I believe, don't hide.
Right.
So it was, so when I started up, like the setup that, I can tell you how I brought her up. So it's very interesting. Okay. So so the day, my child came a little before the due date.
Right.
A few days. Might be I was she came 2 weeks before the due date. So I was renovating a big bungalow. Okay. Again, a very, very prominent one of the leading ministers from Karnataka, his house.
Right.
Okay. So I was like pregnancy, last trimester, you know how it goes. But I love
big as a building.
As big as a building, yes. And I was like, okay, we're walking up. But it never I never stopped, because I loved what I was doing, right? So that day I was like, okay, tuck, I'm going up the building, my client behind, all the agencies behind, because we're almost closing. And I'm like, okay, we got to, and we were putting up a pool on the terrace. And so we had all the agencies come in and all. So then the next scheduled meeting was a week later, right? So I told them, I said, okay, fine. I have one last, scan that I had to do. So I'm going over there. I should be done with my scan. I should be here by 2:00.
Right.
So let's, jam up on this side. All agencies don't miss, because after that, I think my child will be there. So I will not be on the site for the next 2 weeks. Let's wrap it up.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. So I told them, I said, let's wrap it up. So the date was decided and everything. So I went for my scan. Then my doctor said, oh my God, this is an emergency situation. The child has to come out. I said, what? Excuse me, I got a site meeting, 2:00. Then they said, not happening.
Doctor, you don't understand what is important.
I was like, what's happening? Then she's like, listen, the child is not going to schedule its delivery based on your appointments that you have arranged on the site. It's a go right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I said, okay. So I was immediately wheeled into the OT and this. And my sister was there. Okay, so when I came out, my child came out, I came out. So she decided to kind of, right from that day, she decided, Mama, I have arrived. And she made her announcement, right? So when she came,
your schedule be damned,
yes, Mom. So I am there. So she made her presence felt, right?
Yeah.
So it was, I remember, she came out around 2:02.
Okay.
And my meeting was scheduled at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. 2:30, my client calls up and says, Ki, where is the architect?
Yeah.
She was supposed to be here, all the agencies. My sister says, excuse me, but she's right now giving birth.
Yeah.
Can we postpone this meeting? I'm like, so this is how my journey for motherhood started. And like the question you asked, Ki, how difficult it was, there were ups and downs.
Of course.
But then my child was my backpack.
Yeah.
I managed to pull it and I'm happy about it.
Yeah. And so, how quickly did you get back to work?
14 days.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. At all.
Do you have a big team?
I used to have a very big team before COVID.
Okay.
Post-COVID, I kind of slowed down.
Okay.
Something changed.
Yeah.
Something changed in me.
COVID did that to a lot of us, right?
Yes.
It gave us a completely different spin on the lives we live.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just changed a perspective to say that, okay, there are other things also that you can run behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
true.
when I kind of took a little backseat. Mm-hmm. But up until then, I was all over the place. I mean, I was doing projects, I was traveling with my child. There was this project for this Taj property which sadly didn't take off.
Right.
Which I was designing. It was in Coorg.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that was when my child was just 15 months old.
Hmm.
Then I traveled to Coorg with her.
Right.
Yeah, and my client, he had a hotel, his own hotel.
Uh-huh.
So I told my client, I said, listen, I'm coming with my child. He said, but of course I know that.
Yes.
Okay. So
that's a given.
Yeah, that was like a given, because the site was a few kilometers away from the hotel, and it was a huge 32 acres property. Mm-hmm. So I had to spend close to 4 hours in this site, because you have to kind of do a recce of the entire property before you start designing it, right? So I told my clients that ensured my child's safety is totally taken care of, along with the nanny.
Yes.
So that is how I had taken up.
You create a sort of flexibility too.
There are no rights or wrongs when bringing up a child.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, see, it's my perspective.
Right.
Again, I'll say that. Many mothers would say that, how did she move with a 15-month-old child?
Yeah.
When she was 18 months old, I opened my second branch office in Delhi.
Oh. Your next child.
Yeah. Actually, my daughter is my second child. My first child is still my business.
Yeah.
So that's what happened,
Yeah.
So I used to be there at Delhi with my child, 15 days at Delhi and 15 days in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So that's how I did.
Yeah, and I think, I always, when I had my child, I always assumed, you've got to keep them at home, you've got to build your entire life around them and their schedule, which might be true of, of a newborn. Mm-hmm. But after a certain while, and someone mentioned this to me, and it kind of clicked in my head, after a certain while, the child has to also fit into your schedule, Yes. It can't be that everything is just driven by the child and their needs, because then you tend to become more isolated as the caregiver, but also you can never integrate the two, right?
Yes.
The ultimate goal is to have the child be a part of the family, right?
Absolutely. I think it is so true, because again, my child, I remember when she was like 3 years or something, I was doing a construction, and I have this particular picture of she wearing a construction helmet with one of those, the plastering things.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, if people see this, they will think I'm doing child labor with
Yeah.
child. But,
call the police.
Yeah, but, this is how, because my child was a part of every bit of my life.
Yeah.
Every bit. And I had this unspoken rule So from a very young age, might be when she was 4 years old, and she had her own bags and I had my own bags when we would travel. So the rule was she always walks in front of me in the airport and I always walk behind so that I can keep a watch. She would always take her boarding pass, and she was pretty independent from that age till date. And so right now, even on a Saturday and a Sunday, both my kids come with me to the office.
Right.
It's a done deal because they got to know what we are doing.
Yes.
They help me making these things for my website. They create reels. My daughter, she's pretty good at it. Yeah. She makes reels. She makes videos.
This generation of children, they know that like the back of their hand.
Yeah, they're
already,
very smart.
Yeah.
They're very smart. I think recognize and facilitate.
Wow. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's
But I think
that's a great mantra, right? Yeah.
For me, parenting, if you ask, I think it's just these two. The rest, they already know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. So you told me that you take your son and daughter to work on weekends. What was it like for the both of them? Because your daughter from your first marriage and your son, who is the son of your second partner. What was it like for the both of them to come together and to then have this new unit as your family?
Yes. So I started dating my husband I dated him for a good 6 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means, and I've been married for a little over 2 years now, so which gave us around 8 or close to 9 years, which means that my daughter was around 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and my son was 7. So right from that moment, because I knew that, a second relation, if at all I'm getting into, I was very careful about it.
Mm-hmm.
Very careful. I mean, I ensured that my daughter met him because I was very sure about him.
Mm-hmm.
As a person, I didn't know at that point of time whether I would get married to him or not.
Yeah,
but as a partner, as an emotional partner, I knew that he was the right fit for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was just something which happened, and you can say that orchestrated.
Yeah.
So I ensured that the kids met at a very early age. So they grew up. They practically grew up together. And from the moment that they met, I started calling this, as the word that you just said, a unit.
Mm-hmm.
I always used to put it in their mind that we four are a unit.
Right.
So we are there for each other. So when both the kids, they grew up, they had their sibling fights. They used to fight like any other biological siblings would fight. I remember all of that. And then one fine day, my daughter introduced my current husband in one of the birthday parties, her friend's birthday parties, as her father, which just came naturally to her. And my son, he loved me any which way. So right from the very young age, I knew that he loved me and he saw me as his own mother. So that's how this unit got formed. It was not formed over a day or over 1 year or 2 years.
You gave them time.
We both gave our kids that time.
And I find it fascinating that, you actually managed to give them that sense of family without putting them in that box before you gave them a chance to get to know themselves.
Because I think anything which is imposed doesn't last.
Mm-hmm.
Anything which is forcibly pushed doesn't last.
Yeah.
So things which are gentle, put it in a nice way, and comes from the other side.
And you let them figure out a lot of how they want to, what kind of relationship they want with each other. All parts of that unit.
Because me and my daughter, we were always a team.
Yeah, true.
So she was my backpack.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know now she's a little bigger than backpack size, right?
Yes,
she's 12. And you tell me that she's also artistically inclined. She's this incredible drummer.
Yes.
What is it like to raise an artistic child? Because I feel like, I may be going down that path, or at least I'm manifesting it maybe. Yeah. But what is it like? Is it very different? What are the things that you have to do to be able to ensure that they can maintain their artistic side, but they don't lose track of the rest of the world, which is what we typically think of artists as?
Yeah. See, first of all, I want to tell you that my child, now she's 12.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her 7th grade Trinity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Trinity has 8 grades as far as drums are concerned.
Yeah.
And she's doing quite good in
Uh-huh.
all her Trinity exams,
Yeah.
and all of them. So if she's 12, that means she would have started her drums at a very young age.
Uh-huh.
Again, I said that, recognizing your kid's talent is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So I recognized it when she was barely like 4 years old.
Uh-huh.
She used to keep drumming on the table. I used to make her sketch. All I could see was take her pencils and she would. So one day I decided to take her to a music store. It is down that Brigade Road. It's closed now. It used to be there on the right hand side. I just took her there and I just let her run free. I said, "Chalo, bhago." I told her, do whatever you feel like. And I saw she went straight for the drums.
Ah.
So I picked that one up and she was crazy mad,
Yeah.
love with it. Okay, then I got a drum teacher. So he recognized her talent. Then at the age of around 5.5 years, I got her a Yamaha Zildjian set.
Oh, wow.
A Yamaha
That's
Zildjian.
a
It's like a
massive
big
piece,
one.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's huge. And I still have her videos, when she was 5 years old and she started playing that song, "We Will Rock You."
Lovely.
Okay, and her throne, she used to sit so high up because a drummer's chair seat is called as a throne. So her legs would not even touch the pedals. So that's where I realized. So I recognized, and then I ensured. So there were times when she would lose interest, right? But I ensured that she kept it going by hook or crook. I knew that this was inborn. That was a talent that she was born with.
Right.
So the first thing was I ensured that she kept up with her practice. This was one point wherein I was very strict with her. In other things, I am being very, understanding, or I kind of try to be a little lenient. But as far as the drums come, because that is gifted.
Yeah.
And you cannot take things lightly which are gifted to you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where we make the mistake, right? Oh, it is a gift.
Yeah.
So I ensure that she keeps up with that. But then she also, as a creative person, that they do have their things. One day they're all fine and good. The other day they're like somewhere down the line, and then they are super active. So you don't know what to do with them. So I ensure to be very lot more patient at that point of a time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what she's going through, what she's not, but I also try to have them with a very disciplined life.
Mm-hmm.
I have a morning schedule for them, which
Right.
under any circumstances they cannot. My son, he plays the keys. He is very good at the keys. So when they get up in the morning, they first start up by making their bed.
Yeah, of course.
That's a done deal. You
Yes.
don't make your bed, you don't go to
Yes.
school. I don't care, right? So they do that. Then they have a 7-minute meditation.
Right.
That's a for sure thing. Then they do their affirmations.
Okay.
Every morning they have
And you're
to...
telling me your teenage children
Yes.
are willing to listen to you on
They
this?
do that.
Wow. Okay.
They do that. I mean, I don't know, but yes, and I check, and you will not believe the way they write their affirmations.
Right.
I am this. What
Yeah.
they see themselves. So I play this affirmation games with them, right? I say, okay, where do you see? What are you doing right now? What perfume are you wearing? Which color heels are you doing? So we play these games, both with my son as well as my daughter. So they find it very fascinating, because one day I'll just pull up the diary and I say, okay, let's take this day and let's play it out today.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they do write their affirmations. And then after they come back from the school, they again have a routine wherein they practice their drums, they have their studies, they go out for the MMA. So that way I keep them busy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think for anybody creative, because every child is creative. Not only it's my case. It's just that the parent has to recognize what the child is good at.
Yeah.
The child can be as good as, might be just painting on a glass.
Yeah.
But
And it is a great way for them to get their thoughts and ideas out in whatever form of creativity. Yeah.
Some of them love cooking.
Yeah.
They're kids who cook wonderfully at the age of 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
It's inborn.
Yeah.
So just recognize it. I think every child is creative.
Yeah.
Not in particular mine. I was lucky enough to kind of see
Yeah.
and understand.
Yeah.
It's just that.
True.
Don't impose.
Yeah.
Don't impose.
Let's go back to the beginning, when you set up your own firm after college. What was the biggest challenge you faced building your career in the beginning? Because it couldn't have been easy. Like a lot of industries, architecture is also considered a part of the male bastion. What was it like to be a young woman setting out to have her own architectural firm in a city that does have some very prominent architects?
Yes. I did have quite a few challenges, and I will not be lying if I would say that I didn't have any challenge. First of all, I didn't have a social network here because I'm not from this place.
Correct.
That was an architecture as and when I grew up and I kind of became more and more experienced in this field, I realized that any sort of creative field, you need to have a little bit of a social network, because it always works the best through word of mouth. Right?
Very true.
Yeah. So let's take the example of somebody constructing a house. You would not give it to anybody whom you don't know.
Correct.
You would only go through reference. Reference happens through word of mouth.
Yeah.
So my initial days, and I started my firm very young. I passed out of my college, and then might be just 6 or 7 months I worked, and I realized that that's working under someone is not my cup of tea. I wanted the challenge. I wanted it to be very challenging. So I started out, and my first project was a very small little office wherein I just had to put up some aluminium partitions in an office in ITPL.
Okay, right.
And I used to stay in Dollars Colony.
Okay.
And I don't know what I loved, but I would show up every day on the site. Yeah, I would show up diligently.
Yes.
So that also I got it through a friend, and I still remember the name of that university was ICFAI, which I don't think they exist now anymore. But, so a friend, she was working there, she said, would you be interested in design? I said, I will design.
Yeah.
What's wrong? And I will show up on the site.
Yeah.
It was difficult because, as you said, that yes, it's primarily you will see very few female architects, who are there on the site. But then I made it as my strong point. That's when the concept of design and build came in. So I would get the buildings constructed on my own, which meant that I would stand on the building. I would go all the floors up wherein there are not any normal staircase, and you just have a ladder with which the laborers, and because that's where the difference comes into picture.
Yes.
When I'd walk in, I'm like, hey, madam, you will not be able to climb up.
Yeah.
Because that's how they see, right? So the moment you cut that, you say, no, you're making it correctly or not, I'm going to go and check.
Yeah.
Right? So you cut that first level, which comes from the workers who are there on the site. Even now, my workers, when I enter the site, they don't call me madam, they call me sir.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do not expect anyone for me to do that. But then the confidence and the hold that you have on the project just comes with time.
Yeah.
For me, it took a little longer than my other male counterparts because I had to prove.
Yeah.
I had to prove that I too can do it.
Yeah.
Because for some vague reason, people think that which side is that? The calculation side is very poor.
Right.
But believe you me, I am superb in construction and very superb in calculating materials.
Yeah.
So I tell them, I challenge.
Yeah.
I said the cost of the building is going to be so much. I tell them, no, it's going to be so much. Take a challenge.
Yeah.
Because I mastered this art.
Yeah. So you built yourself up while trying
from
to build.
ground zero.
Yes.
Ground zero, it was very difficult. Because you see, when you are there on the site, it's just one woman against 100 of other male workers and few female workers who will be carrying just the sand and the thing on their head. Yes. Right?
Do you think the ratio of women architects in this city, in this country, has changed? It's improved?
Yes, it has improved. Back in my times, it was much lesser. It was much lesser. Now it has improved because things have become more systematic now.
Right.
That is one of the main
that helps
reasons,
the industry.
Right? Yeah, so every blue-collar job that you see is becoming systematic, which was not like that back in our times.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't see that.
Yes.
So now it is much better, it is easier, and the way people perceive also a woman architect on the site, I think that perception also has changed
Yes. And I don't know, maybe I'm coming off a bit of renovation myself, and I feel like the approach with a woman architect has been that, they tend to listen, or at least they're able to put on that they're listening to you. I haven't seen that so much with, like, the men. They're also, we got it.
Yeah.
That is the attitude they come off with. But the women who are helping me with a certain kind of design element I wanted, they tend to listen, even if they don't follow through necessarily. They listen. They want your opinion, and they don't want just the man's opinion. They're willing to listen to the woman of the house as well, which is refreshing and essential.
Yes. Somebody had told me quite long back that if you're designing your house, it's much better if you get it done by a woman architect.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yes, because you see, the women are the one who are running the house, right? So
Yes.
we know the nitty-gritties.
Yes.
If you tell, and for us the most important place in the house is the utility,
Yes.
which a guy is not going to understand.
True.
So you're like, okay, the washing machine goes here, the dryer goes here, I have my detergents here, because we are working in the house at all time.
All time.
Yeah, because that's primarily in our DNA.
Yes,
We
it's
are
a part of all the invisible work we put into running the
Absolutely.
household while,
we are the ones who build the nest. We are the ones who maintain the nest,
Yes.
right? So once we are doing that, and then, so it is very important. So the women, when they look at detail, the eye for detail is much better.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's just in our DNA.
Correct.
Eye for detail, because that's how we can raise a child, right?
Yes, true. You've got to stay focused.
Yeah, it just comes here. I mean,
Yes.
you like it, you don't. Your motherhood kind of, overflows into your work in every aspect. I don't know why people look at differently, but I think it is one of the main aspects which says that a mother can be much better in her job just because her span, her concentration, her focus is much higher.
Yeah. My son likes to joke that do you have eyes at the back of your head, because you can see things I'm doing away from you as well. So I'm the CCTV of the household.
Yeah.
But I think that is how women tend to get built up.
Yes.
Yes. True. We're getting close to wrapping up, but I have one more question. Could you give me, as an architect who's successfully running her own firm for so many years now, could you give me one piece of advice that I can share with, all the entrepreneurial moms listening in? How is it that you can be more visible as a businesswoman in whatever field?
Yeah. So I had read this book. I don't remember the name.
Okay.
But unquoting from that book, it says, the circus which makes the loudest noise while entering a village gets the maximum customer. Right.
Right.
So it is, and this book was written long back. Right, because they quote unquote a circus.
Yes.
Nothing has changed from that era to this era. You want to be visible, you got to make the effort to be seen. Right? Show up. People, once out of sight, out of mind, right? Show up, and we are blessed to be in today's world wherein we have got AIs, we have got different social media, different podcast, your podcast, YouTube. So we have got so many options. Just ensure to post, to be seen, whatever you have done. Just take a picture of it, just post.
Put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there.
Those are some great tips. Naznin, could you, we like to do this segment on our podcast where we ask for recommendations. Could you recommend a podcast that you've listened to that you've really enjoyed and stayed with you? Maybe something on Netflix that you saw and just enjoyed in your downtime, and a book.
Oh, book. I can definitely tell you, I'm not much of a visual person.
Okay.
Yeah, but...
Says the architect.
Yes, cliche to that. Yes, I love reading.
Okay.
I love reading. At one given time, I read 3 books.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. For somebody very for your this podcast for women and mothers, entrepreneurs, the go-getting attitude is one book that I can definitely suggest. Is a Norman Hill book,
Okay.
Think and Grow Rich.
Okay. Think and Grow Rich.
That
Okay.
is one book which I found was so amazing.
Right.
It was so amazing. It gave me insight into all these different people who have made it big. JP
Right.
Morgan, starting from JP Morgan. I would definitely say one is that book. So Norman Hill is one recommendation. Then many a times when a mother is juggling with different things, and they try to fall back and then again get up and then fall back. So there are certain very motivational books that I have found. One is, I don't know how apt can people find this book, but it did help me to intertwine my brain, because everything happens from inside, right? So people think that, okay, the situations outside is affecting my brain, but actually it is the other way around. What is going on in your brain is actually creating the situations outside. So I have read by Jerry and Esther Hicks.
Okay.
It's called Ask and It Is Given.
Right.
Must read.
Okay.
Beautiful. So these 2 books, definitely I'll suggest.
Okay. Thank you for your recommendation. And if someone wants to check out your work and get to know you better, and learn about your firm, where can they reach you?
They can reach me on www.dreamcraftproject.com. So they can definitely reach out there.
All right. Thank you, Naznin Bora. It has been wonderful talking to you.
Thank
you. Listening to your journey, not just through design, but also through motherhood, has been inspiring.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here. And it was a wonderful time.
I'm so glad to hear it. And to all you mothers listening in, you know the drill. Be sure to interact with us on our website. That's invisiblework.mom. Give us your ideas, suggestions. If you've had similar experiences with Naznin, do share it with us. We'd love to hear from you. There are some amazing deals on the website as well, so do check that out. That's invisiblework.mom. Until I chat up with the next mom, I will see you soon. I'm Anjana, and this has been Invisible Work.